o'clock, I'm going to start. My name is Karina. I am the lead graphic designer at the Morton Grove Public Library. Thank you guys for stopping by this week's Crafting Live session. Today's craft is paper Lotus right here. So hopefully you have the materials prepped and ready to go. Just wanted to say that this is the last Crafting Live, at least for now. I'm going to take a little break. But thank you for everyone that's like participated the last couple weeks. I think this is our 10th video, our 10th session. So I really appreciate everyone kind of like tuning in, participating and crafting with me. We started with paper flowers, and I kind of wanted to end with a paper flower using tissue paper. So that's why I kind of ended with a paper lotus. It's also really fun and super pretty. So if you haven't looked or watched any of our other videos, we do have several. You can find it on the library's YouTube page and Instagram TV, so IGTV tab. Also, for those that we started doing on Facebook, you will find it on our Facebook video tab. So lots of places for you to watch our videos. If you create any of our projects, please post them, tag us. I would really like to see how your projects turn out. So I will begin like I do all of my programs. I will start with the materials list. So for this one, you will need tissue paper. So because we are doing a flower, the way I did it was, one color for the blooms. And for that one, you will need 8 6-inch by 3-inch piece of paper. I went with tissue paper because when I tried to do it with regular paper, I felt like it didn't curve as nicely, but feel free to do it with normal copy paper if that's what you have. I probably wouldn't go super thick. I wouldn't do cardstock, or I would stay with a thinner letter or a thinner copy paper for this. So I just went with the thinnest paper that I have, which is tissue paper though. So I find that it was easier for me to kind of curl the lotus bloom using the tissue paper versus the copy paper. But if you are using copy paper, let me know how that worked for you, okay? So for the bloom, you're gonna need 8 6-inch by 3-inch piece of paper, and then for and whatever color you want. So if you want a Technicolor multicolor bloom, obviously you can use as many different sheets of paper as you want. Who am I to tell you what color your bloom's going to be? And then for the lotus leaves, you're going to need 4 6-inch by 3-inch green paper. But once again, who's to say that the lotus leaves have to be green? So it is just whatever color you want to use for your flower. And then you're going to need a rubber band. So pretty easy. Once again, like I feel like a lot of the previous ones, it's repetitive, but worth it, so because it's super cute. So we will begin with that. I will let you know that I said 8 and it'll make this type bloom. If you find that you want it to be a fuller bloom, a lot more layers, and this will all make sense once we actually start putting it together, you can always up it. So I would go by quantities of 4. So if you find that you want a fuller bloom, I would go from 8 to 12 pieces for your whatever color bloom paper. Does that make sense? Or I would go 16 if you really wanted something super full. That will all make sense once we actually start doing it, and I'll talk to you guys about it again. So for right now, you're gonna need all of your paper and then just a rubber band, and that's really it. So I am going to start off with the bloom first. So not the green or whatever you plan on using for the leaves. We're gonna fold just the bloom. So whatever you want the flower to actually be, whatever color piece of paper that you are using at home. So you're going to take one at a time. We're just going to fold all of these and then put them together, okay? So I'm going to lay my piece of paper long ways towards me and away from me, and then the shorter edge, so the 3-inch edge, to my left and right. So like that, okay? You're going to take the edge closest to you and you're going to fold up to the edge farthest from you, like that. So you're just folding up long ways, all right? So once you've got that, you've got your fold, you're gonna unfold, and you are going to take the point. Like, I'm gonna start off with the bottom left right point, and then I'm gonna fold up to the fold in the center that we just created. Okay, and then I'm going to take the top right point and I'm going to fold that so that the edge lays in the center fold that we created. So you just want to point. All right. So once you have that, you're going to do the other side, the left side. So the bottom left. Obviously you can start with whatever point. This is kind of just the way I do it. Okay, so fold up so you look like that. And then I'm going to take the top left point and fold down. Ta-da. I feel like this was, if you tuned into the paper butterflies, I think this was actually like the first step for the top portion, the top wing of the butterfly. So if you did that one, this will all come back to you. All right, so you should have something that looks like this. The next thing we're gonna do, with it laying on your surface with the points to the left and right, you're gonna take that flat, the straight edge closest to you, and you're gonna fold that flat edge to the center fold like that. And increase. And now with it down again, you're gonna take the straight edge farthest from you, and you're gonna fold down to that center fold. So you should have something that looks like this. My apologies if the paper is too light to see all of the folds, but you should have something that looks like this, okay? All right. So the next thing you're gonna do for actually, we're gonna put that aside. So we're gonna do that for all of the 8 pieces of paper that we're using for the blooms, okay? So take your next sheet, you're gonna lay it so that the long edges are facing you and away from you, and the short edges are over to your left and right. You're gonna fold up long ways, like that, and then you're gonna unfold. And then you're gonna take whatever point, whether it's the top left, top right, bottom left, you're just gonna take one of the points and you're gonna fold up so that you meet this edge to the center fold we just created. Like that. All right? And you're gonna do that for every point. Okay? So really, for both the bloom and for the leaves, this is the action that you're gonna do, because we're gonna just have all the similar things. It's just the way we fold it later that'll make a difference. So once you have something that looks like this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this flat edge, and then you're gonna fold up to that middle fold, like that. You're gonna take that top edge, and you're gonna fold down to that middle fold. So you should have something that looks like this. All right. So that's our second one. Put that aside. You're just going to keep going. Similar to last week's paper heart garland, or yeah, not garland, paper heart wreath. This is probably the most time consuming part, just getting all of these pieces together, and then the actual putting it together part is the easy one. So you're gonna have to do this for every piece of tissue paper you have. So like that, and then now we're gonna fold up. So obviously we are working with 8 sheets for the bloom. If you wanted the bloom to be bigger, then you would need to do this for as many. Once again, in quantities of 4. So fold the long way, unfold, and then the points to the center fold. You're going to do that for all the points on both sides. All right, so once you have that, you're going to lay it down. You're going to fold up the straight edge to the center fold and crease. So I'm just keeping the pile of petals over to my right. We're just going to do this for each one. Just like that. Unfold. Take your point, and you're going to have that edge meet the center fold. You're going to do that for all of the points. Like that. And then you're going to lay it down. You're going to take that straight edge towards you, and you're going to fold it up to that center fold again. And then take the straight edge away from you and fold that down. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, I have 5, so I have 3 more of the blooms that we're gonna do, okay? So take your paper, fold up, or just fold long ways, unfold, take each corner and fold up to that middle fold. Okay. And once you have that with the straight edge towards you and away from you, you're going to take those straight edges and you're going to fold them up to that center fold like that. And then the other side. You will get used to this motion very quickly just because you do it so much, and it's so repetitive. So like that. Okay, so once you have that, you're going to fold up. So this is my last one of the bloom. So fold long ways, unfold, and then take all of the corner points and fold it up to that center fold. All 4 points. Yeah. So once you've got that, you're going to take that straight edge and you're going to fold that up to the center fold, like that. And then the other straight edge, do the same to the center fold. All right. So now we've got all of the ones that for the blooms, like that, off to my side, to my right side. I'm going to take my leaves, so it's going to be the 4 in whatever color that you want the leaves to be, okay? So we're going to do the same thing, just in a different color, all right? So keep it long ways, so long edges towards you and away from you. You're going to fold those long edges together, make a fold in the center, unfold, and then all of the points you are going to fold up to that center fold we just created. All right. If you have any questions, just type them onto the comments and then I will get to them. So you have something like looks like that. You're going to take that straight edge and you're going to fold that up to the center fold. Make sure you're creasing. Do the same to the other side. All right. So now we're just working on the leaves one. So you should have 4 sheets of paper for the leaves. Do the same. Fold, unfold. Fold all those points to the center fold. Like that. Looks like this. And And then you're going to take that straight edge and you're going to fold that up to the center fold. Nice. All right, and you're just going to keep going. Like that, unfold, point to the center fold. You're going to take that straight edge and you're going to fold that up to the center fold and do the same thing to the other side. All right, so this is going to be my fourth sheet. So you're going to fold the two long edges together, unfold, point to the center fold, all 4 points. All right, so once you have that, you're going to lay it down. You're going to take that straight edge and you're going to fold that up to the center fold and do the other side. All right, so now you should have, at least for this one, for this bloom, for this flower, you should have 4 green for the leaves that you've already folded, like that, right? And then you should have 8 of whatever color bloom you're working with, all right? So the next thing you're gonna do, and this is where it differs, so for right now, everything has been the same. The folding has been the same, and this is where now it kind of differs. So what we're gonna do for the blooms is we're going to take the little sections that we've created and we're going to fold it in. So this is where all the folds we've created, right? So we're going to fold it so that you can see all of the folds. So like that. All right. So you should have something that looks like this. You just fold it in half and you're going to want to make sure that you're seeing all of the folds. So you're going to do that for all of them. So you're going to take the sections we just folded, and you're just going to fold it in half, but making sure that what is exposed is all of the ones, the wrong side. So like you can see all of the folds. So you're taking that, you're folding that in half. Okay. And then you can see all of the folds. So you're just going to do that for all 8. Or however many you're working with later. If you want a bigger bloom, as I mentioned earlier, you would just make more of these sections in quantities of 4. All right, just like that. You're going to fold in half, longwise, with the folds exposed. And this will all make sense why we're folding it this way, once we start putting the flower together. All right, so you should now have things that are folded in half, so not as wide. And all of these for the blooms should be on the side, like you should be able to see all of the folds we created in the first step, okay? So I'm just gonna put those aside. And now I'm going to work on the leaves. So the leaves are going to be different. So we are going to fold them in half, but instead of it exposing the folds, you're actually going to fold it so that it's all the smooth section. So you're sandwiching the folds inside, so you don't see it. All right. So that's where it starts to differ between the leaves and the bloom, the petals. All right, so you're going to fold it in half, and it obviously naturally wants to fold there because we've created that in the first step, but just be aware that for the leaves, you want it to just be all smooth. You don't see any of the folds, so you're just exposing the right side, okay? Unlike the bloom where we are exposing the wrong side, okay? So for the leaves, you should have 4 that look like that. And at least for right now, because of you should have 8 for the petals that look like this. So you will see that there is a difference in the way you're folding. Leaves should be smooth, so you don't see any of the folds. Petals should be the wrong side. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully you guys are able to see it on the video. All right, so now we're gonna put it together. So for each section, you're going to pair up 2 of the bloom, 2 bloom or petals, and then 1 leaf. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 1 bloom. All right, and depending on how, it might be a little awkward, you want to lay it so that on your hand, so that it's the V is facing up, right? And you're just gonna lay the second in the center, making sure that it is right in the center and like none of the like you don't want to overlap up here. Okay, does that make sense? So you just want, it's like a hot dog. So like this is the bun, this is the hot dog, and you kind of just want it to lay in there. So making sure that these flaps don't go over the one in the bottom. Okay, so now you have your two petals. You're gonna take your leaf and you're going to lay it in the center of that. Once again, making sure that none of the sides of the next layer overlaps. So it should just be all individual 3 things. All right, so you're gonna put that aside. You're gonna do that 3 more times. You're gonna take 1 of your petals, take another and lay it like that. Take a leaf and you're going to lay it like that. Okay, so that's 2. And this is where if you were doing more petals, you would just lay, that's why it needs to be in, and this all makes sense later, in 4s. So if you wanted, you know, like instead of an 8, actually this is a 16, you would just add 1 more per 4 sections, 4 groups. So you're gonna take your next one, lay it like that, and then your next petal, lay it in between, making sure that the sides don't overlap or go over the last one. And then you're gonna take a leaf and you're gonna lay it like that. Okay, last one, because you should have, if you're doing the 8, then you should have just 2 more left. So once again, lay it on top, making sure it's not going over the edges, and then your leaf in the middle. All right, so now you should have 4 of these. So you should have 1 green and 2 of whatever bloom color you have. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so now you're gonna take all of these and you're just going to lay each group on top of each other. My 3rd, and then my 4th, okay? Making sure that they're all going the same way and that they're as flushed or as together as possible. So mine looks like this, okay? And there should be 4 different groups. All right, so you're gonna take your rubber band, and this is where, if you wanna fold, just to kind of get an idea of where to, if you wanna fold it in half to kind of get an idea of where to put that rubber band, you could. So I just did that. So you're going to take your rubber band. It doesn't have to be super, super tight, but my rubber band is small, so I think I'm just gonna do it twice. You just wanna hold it in place. So you don't want it super loose, but you don't want it to be tight that it's like crinkling the paper. So that's just a little bit comfortable. So you want to put that in the center of the blue. Oh, actually, all right. So now we're going to make so you should have something that looks like this. All right. Hopefully everyone does. All right, so now I'm gonna start, not fluffing, but I'm going to start putting together the segments. So I am just going to take the outer two segments, and I'm just gonna fold that like this. Okay, and this is just kind of gonna make it easier to separate and just see all of these different sections. So you should have something that looks like that. All right, you're gonna lay it on your surface with the green side down. So you should not see any of the green. You should just, if you're looking up top, you should only see the color of the bloom. So it should be like that and not like this on the green should be at the bottom. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so now I'm going to just start making these blooms. So I'm going to take a section at a time. I usually start in where that first. So I'm going to just take this one. And you know how there's 3 layers because it's two tissue paper for the bloom and then one for the leaf. You're going to take that first, the topmost layer. And what you're going to do is you're going to take just that top layer and you're going to fold up to maybe, so I usually stop right where, remember those folds we created? I usually stop right underneath that, like that. And what I like to do is I alternate sides. So I'm going to take that and then the one directly across from it, I'm going to take that first layer and I'm going to fold up. So using my thumbs, I'm just going to fold up. And you see how we're starting to create the lotus. I am going to, you see how because it's in 4s, I'm going to skip one and I'm just going to go to the one. So I'm skipping one that we haven't folded and I'm going to go to the next segment. All right, so same thing. I'm going to take the top layer and I'm going to crease it up. That. I'm going to try to take the one across from that and do the same thing. Top layer. All right. And because it's paper, you can manipulate it, and you can manipulate it even more later. So you should have something that looks like this. All right, so now we're going to go to a layer in between. So you see how like I've already folded that one and that one. So I'm going to go to this one, which I haven't folded yet. So I'm going to take the top layer for that one, and I'm going to fold up to where I'm meeting the other two. And I'm going to take the opposite side of that. And for this, it just becomes kind of your preference and how you want those lotus leaves to kind of lay with each other. I just like every other one. All right, so like this. And then you should still have two sections that we haven't done anything with. So take that first layer and fold it up. And do the other side. So you should have at this point something that looks like that, and that's just the first layer of our lotus bloom, okay? All right, so now I'm going to just take one side, probably the one that I started with, the section I started with, and you're gonna take that middle section, which is still that color of the bloom, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're just going to fold up. I'm going to try to take the opposite side of that one and fold that up. All right, and then I'm going to skip one. So this is where it kind of gets repetitive with just the folding. Obviously, you have to be very aware of like which side you already did, and which side there's still to do. And if you're gonna go with more layers, you're gonna do this, you know, more times than the 2 times that we're doing now, just because you will have more petals, which does lend for a really nice looking lotus. But for the class, I just figured 8 would be ideal. All right, so then you're just gonna take the next one. So this, you should be now left with just, like once you folded this up, you should see the green or whatever the leaf color that you chose. And we'll fold those next. All right, just like that. The last 2. Like that. And then the last one. All right, so you should have your lotus bloom, and once again, you can start to manipulate it once you're done with the bloom. If you want things to be a little higher, you can, like that. All right. Okay, so now for the leaves, you should just have your bloom, and then the leaves, we still haven't fluffed yet. So the leaves, I tend to just flatten like that, and then maybe curl the ends. So it really is your preference. So I wouldn't necessarily fold it up to meet. I just kind of flatten and curl. Flatten and curl. Because you see how, because of the way we folded it, it is very stiff and just, so you're just gonna take that and you're gonna undo it, flatten it a little bit, and maybe curl the ends. So it's more of a leaf shape. And you're gonna do that for each one. So just flatten and curl. Yeah. Last one. Flatten and curl. So there is your lotus, and that's what it looks like on the top side. Pretty fun, I say. It's pretty and kind of easy. Once again, it's the repetitiveness of making all of the little sections and then just putting it together, and that was a breeze. So once again, you can, depending on how full you want your bloom to be, you can just add, instead of the 8, you can add multiples of 4, so you know you can go up to 12 and then 16, and then that'll kind of just make it a more full bloom. So really, that is it for the paper lotus. Hopefully you guys were able to follow along with me and were able to create your own lotus at home. Thank you guys for stopping by this week's Crafting Live. As I mentioned earlier, this is sadly the last one, at least for right now. But it's been a lot of fun teaching you guys every week. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and that we will see each other again soon. If you did create any of the lotus or any of our projects, please post it and tag us. I would love to see how your projects turned out. So until next time, stay safe and healthy, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye.